Most homeowners spend thousands of dollars every year on plumbing repairs that were completely avoidable, not because they were unlucky, but because nobody ever taught them the secrets that professional plumbers use every single day. After 3 decades in the trade, I have seen it all, and today I am sharing 20 genius plumbing secrets that will save you serious money. Stick around for number 17, because that one alone could save your entire foundation. And the bonus tip at the end is something even experienced DIYers rarely know. The very first secret on our list is one that sounds almost too simple, but it is the one mistake that turns a $20 repair into a $2,000 disaster. Always, without exception, turn off the water before you touch any plumbing repair. I know that sounds obvious, but you would be amazed how many people think they can swap out a faucet cartridge or tighten a supply line with the water still running. Just working quickly and hoping for the best. It never works out that way. Water pressure in a typical home runs between 40 and 80 pounds per square inch. And the moment you loosen the wrong fitting, that pressure does not wait around for you to react. Before you start any job, locate the shutoff valve closest to the work area and turn it off completely. Then turn on the faucet downstream to release any remaining pressure in the line. Dry the pipe with a rag before you begin. This 30-second habit will protect your floors, your walls, your cabinets, and your wallet every single time. The second secret that professional plumbers rely on every single day is using plumber's tape on every threaded connection, and most homeowners either skip it entirely or use it wrong. Plumber's tape, which you might also hear called thread seal tape or PTFE tape, is that thin white tape that costs about $2 at any hardware store. It wraps around the male threads of a pipe fitting before it gets screwed into place, filling in the microscopic gaps between the threads and creating a watertight seal. The key is wrapping it in the correct direction, which means clockwise as you look at the end of the threads. That way, when you screw the fitting in, the tape tightens rather than unravels. Use 2 to 3 wraps for standard connections and 4 to 5 wraps for connections that will be under higher pressure, like supply lines to a washing machine or outdoor hose bib. Never reuse old tape. Always start fresh. This $2 roll of tape prevents the vast majority of threaded joint leaks that homeowners call plumbers to fix every single week. The third secret on this list is one that becomes critically important the moment the temperature drops below freezing. And that secret is insulating every pipe that runs through an unheated space. Crawl spaces, attached garages, exterior walls, and unfinished basements are all danger zones when winter arrives. Water expands when it freezes, and that expansion generates enough force to split copper, crack PVC, and rupture PEX tubing. A single burst pipe can release hundreds of gallons of water into your home in a matter of hours. The fix is remarkably simple and inexpensive. Foam pipe insulation and sleeves cost less than $1 per foot at any home improvement store and slip right over your pipes without any special tools. For pipes in extremely cold areas, you can also add electric heat tape underneath the foam for extra protection. Pay special attention to pipes that run along exterior walls or through spaces that share a wall with the outside. Spending $30 on insulation now can easily prevent $30,000 in water damage later. The fourth secret we need to cover is one that matters enormously when something goes wrong in a hurry, and that is making sure your whole house water shutoff is somewhere you can actually reach and actually use. This is something a lot of older homes get completely wrong. The main shutoff valve is often tucked behind a utility shelf in the basement, buried under years of storage, or located in a crawl space that requires getting down on your hands and knees to access. In an emergency, every second counts. If a pipe bursts at 2 in the morning, you do not want to be moving boxes and squeezing into tight spaces while water is pouring through your ceiling. Take an afternoon this weekend to locate your main shutoff. Clear the path to it completely and test it to make sure it actually turns off the water flow. If the valve is stiff, corroded, or only partially closes, replace it now while it is not an emergency. Consider adding a clearly visible label so any family member or house sitter can find it without hesitation. The fifth secret that saves homeowners hundreds of dollars on service calls every single year is simply this: reach for a drain snake before you ever pick up the phone to call a plumber. A basic handheld drain snake, sometimes called a drain, auger, costs between $20 and $50 at any hardware store and can clear the vast majority of common household clogs in under 10 minutes. Most clogs in sinks, tubs, and showers happen within the first 2 feet of the drain opening, right where hair, soap scum, and grease tend to accumulate. A snake reaches down into that trap area and either breaks up the clog or pulls it out entirely. For kitchen sinks, run hot water down the drain first to soften any grease buildup before snaking. For bathroom drains, a simple hair clog will usually come out in one pull. If the snake does not clear it after 2 or 3 attempts, that is when you know the clog may be deeper in the line and it is time to call a professional. But in the vast majority of cases, you will have that drain flowing freely again before a plumber could even return your call. The sixth secret on our list is one that works silently against your plumbing every single hour of every single day if you are not paying attention to it. And that secret is checking your home's water pressure regularly. Most people never think about water pressure until something breaks, but consistently high pressure is one of the leading causes of premature plumbing failure in residential homes. The ideal water pressure for a home is between 40 and 60 pounds per square inch. Anything above 80 pounds per square inch is putting serious stress on your pipes, your fittings, your appliances, and every valve in the house. A water pressure gauge costs about $10 and screws right onto any hose bib or washing machine hookup. Check your pressure at least once a year, and if it is running high, a pressure-reducing valve installed at the main line will bring it back into a safe range. A licensed plumber can install one in an hour or 2, and that single upgrade can add years of life to your water heater, your washing machine, your dishwasher, and all of your faucet fixtures. The seventh secret that quietly drains money from homeowners without them ever realizing it is a worn toilet flapper, and replacing it every 3 to 5 years is one of the smartest preventive maintenance habits you can build. The flapper is the rubber seal at the bottom of your toilet tank that controls the flow of water into the bowl. Over time, rubber degrades, warps, and loses its ability to form a complete seal. When that happens, water slowly trickles from the tank into the bowl continuously, a problem known as a silent leak. You might never hear it and never notice it, but your water bill will reflect it. A running toilet caused by a bad flapper can waste up to 200 gallons of water every single day. That adds up to roughly 6,000 gallons a month going straight down the drain without flushing a single thing. A replacement flapper costs about $5 and takes less than 5 minutes to install, with no tools required. To test yours right now, put a few drops of food coloring in the tank. If color shows up in the bowl within 15 minutes without flushing, your flapper needs to be replaced today. The 8th secret on this list is something every homeowner should take seriously the moment they notice it, and that is never ignoring a slow drain. A slow drain is not just an inconvenience. It is your plumbing system sending you an early warning signal that a blockage is developing somewhere in the line. Most people let it go for weeks or months, figuring it will clear itself or is not bad enough yet to deal with. But what starts as a minor buildup of hair, grease, or soap residue almost always gets worse over time, not better. Addressing a slow drain early is a 5-minute job with a snake or a simple drain cleaning treatment. Ignoring it until it becomes a full blockage can mean a much more involved repair, especially if the clog develops deep in the line where a basic snake cannot reach. For kitchen drains, a monthly flush with boiling water helps dissolve grease before it solidifies. For bathroom drains, a mesh strainer that catches hair before it enters the pipe is the single most effective preventive measure you can take, and we will talk more about that one coming up shortly. The 9th secret that protects your home from some of the most expensive and hidden water damage possible is something you can do in an afternoon with a $10 tube of caulk, and that is sealing around every fixture in your home. The gaps between your sink and countertop, between your tub surround and the tub itself, between the base of your toilet and the floor, and around the escutcheon plates on your supply lines are all places where water can silently work its way into the subfloor, the wall cavity, or the framing beneath. You will never see it happening, but over months and years, that moisture causes rot, mold, and structural damage that can cost tens of thousands of dollars to repair. Use 100% silicone caulk for wet areas like tubs and showers, and paintable latex caulk for drier areas, like around sink bases. Before applying new caulk, always remove every trace of the old caulk completely and let the surface dry for at least 24 hours. A clean, fresh bead of caulk, applied smoothly with a wet finger and allowed to cure for 24 hours, creates a seal that will protect your home for years. The 10th secret on our list is pure emergency preparedness, and it is the kind of knowledge that can mean the difference between a minor incident and a catastrophic flood inside your home. Every homeowner needs to know exactly where every shutoff valve is located throughout their house. Not just the main shutoff, but the individual shutoff valves under every sink, behind every toilet, and at every appliance connection. Walk through your home right now and locate each one. Turn each valve gently to confirm it actually moves and closes fully. Many homes have shutoff valves that have not been touched in 20 or 30 years, and older gate-style valves especially tend to freeze in place or fail to close completely when you need them most. Make a simple hand-drawn map of your home's shutoff valve locations and keep it somewhere accessible. If you have a spouse, a family member, or a house sitter who stays in your home, make sure they know where the main shutoff is and how to use it. Water damage happens fast. Knowing exactly where to run and what to turn is knowledge that is worth more than any tool in your garage. The 11th secret is a practical tool tip that protects your fixtures and saves you from an expensive and completely avoidable cosmetic repair. When working on chrome or decorative plumbing fixtures, always use slip joint pliers instead of a standard pipe wrench. A pipe wrench is designed for grip and torque on iron and galvanized steel pipe, and its serrated jaws will chew right through the chrome finish on a decorative nut or fitting in seconds. Slip joint pliers, sometimes called channel lock pliers, give you excellent grip and leverage while allowing you to protect the finish by wrapping the jaws with a layer or two of electrical tape or a thin cloth before tightening. This is especially important on bathroom faucet supply nuts, P-trap slip joints under sinks, and shower head connections. Replacing a scratched or gouged chrome fixture costs anywhere from $50 to several $100s, depending on the piece. Protecting it costs you nothing but a moment of extra care. Anytime you are working near a finished surface, slow down, cover your tool jaws, and work gently. The fixtures in your bathroom deserve the same respect as the pipes behind the wall. The 12th secret is one of the easiest and most effective preventive measures in all of home plumbing maintenance, and it costs less than $5 per drain. Putting a mesh strainer on every single drain in your home is the single most reliable way to stop clogs before they ever begin. Hair is the #1 cause of bathroom drain clogs, and it does not take much accumulation before it starts trapping soap scum and slowing your drainage noticeably. A simple stainless steel mesh strainer sits right over the drain opening, catches everything before it enters the pipe, and lifts out in seconds for cleaning. For kitchen sinks, a basket strainer catches food particles that would otherwise build up in the trap and create grease-bound blockages deep in the drain line. Mesh strainers are available at every hardware store and home center. They fit virtually every standard drain size, and they require zero installation beyond simply setting them in place. Clean them every few days, and you will likely never deal with a slow bathroom drain again. It is one of those tiny habits that quietly eliminates one of the most common and annoying plumbing problems entirely. The 13th secret on our list is a safety and maintenance step that most homeowners have never performed even once, and that is testing the pressure relief valve on your water heater every single year. The pressure relief valve, often called the T and P valve, is a critical safety device mounted on the side or top of your water heater tank. Its job is to release pressure automatically if the temperature or pressure inside the tank rises to a dangerous level. If this valve fails and pressure builds unchecked, the result can be catastrophic. Testing it is straightforward. Place a bucket under the discharge pipe connected to the valve. Lift the test lever gently for about 3 seconds, then release it. You should hear a rush of hot water or steam into the bucket, and the valve should snap shut cleanly when you let go. If the valve drips continuously after the test, it needs to be replaced. If it does not release at all, it needs to be replaced immediately. A replacement T and P valve costs between $15 and $30 and is a straightforward swap that takes about 20 minutes. Do not skip this test. It is one of the most important safety checks in your entire home. The 14th secret that extends the life of your water heater by years and lowers your energy bills at the same time is something most homeowners have never done once, and that is flushing the tank annually. Over time, minerals naturally present in your water supply, particularly calcium and magnesium, settle to the bottom of your water heater tank as sediment. This layer of sediment acts as an insulating barrier between the burner and the water, forcing your heater to run longer and work harder to reach temperature. It also causes that popping and rumbling sound you may have noticed coming from your water heater, which is the sound of water bubbling up through that sediment layer. Flushing the tank is straightforward. Turn the heater to the pilot setting. Connect a garden hose to the drain valve at the base of the tank. Run the hose to a floor drain or outside. Open the drain valve and let it run until the water flows clear. The whole process takes about 30 minutes and costs nothing. Do it once a year and your water heater will run more efficiently, last several years longer, and be far less likely to fail unexpectedly. The 15th secret is a modern materials tip that can save you significant time and money on supply line repairs, and that is choosing PEX tubing over copper whenever possible. PEX, which stands for cross-linked polyethylene, has become the go-to material for residential plumbing repairs among professional plumbers over the past 2 decades, and for very good reason. It is dramatically less expensive than copper, which has seen its price rise sharply in recent years. It is flexible, which means it can bend around corners and obstacles without requiring elbow fittings at every turn. It is resistant to freezing because it can expand slightly under pressure rather than splitting the way rigid pipe does. And it is easier to work with, especially in tight spaces or awkward angles where copper would require cutting, fitting, and soldering. PEX connects using simple push-fit or crimp fittings that require no open flame and no soldering skills. For most repair and replacement jobs in a residential home, PEX is the smarter choice in virtually every situation. You can find it at any home improvement store, and the fittings are clearly labeled and color-coded for hot and cold lines. The 16th secret is one that homeowners frequently put off because it seems minor. But fixing a running toilet immediately is one of the highest return repairs you can make in your home. We touched on flappers earlier, but a running toilet can have several causes beyond a worn flapper, including a faulty fill valve, a float set too high, or a cracked overflow tube. Each of these causes water to run continuously from the tank into the bowl or directly down the overflow tube without stopping. Beyond the flapper test we discussed, you can identify the cause by removing the tank lid and watching what happens after a flush. If water keeps trickling into the bowl, the flapper is likely the culprit. If water is running into the overflow tube, the float needs to be adjusted, or the fill valve needs to be replaced. A complete toilet repair kit that includes a new flapper, fill valve, and float assembly costs about $20 at any hardware store and takes less than 30 minutes to install. Compared to the cost of hundreds of gallons of wasted water every single day, that is an investment that pays for itself in the first week. The 17th secret is one that could genuinely save your home's foundation if you catch it early, and that is knowing the warning signs of a hidden slab leak. A slab leak occurs when a water supply or drain line running beneath your concrete foundation develops a leak. Because these pipes are buried under several inches of concrete, the leak is completely invisible until significant damage has already occurred. The warning signs are subtle but recognizable. Watch for unexplained hot spots on your floor, which can indicate a hot water line leaking beneath the slab. Look for cracks appearing in your flooring or baseboards that were not there before. Pay attention to a sudden unexplained spike in your water bill with no obvious cause. Listen for the sound of running water when every fixture in the house is turned off. And watch for wet spots or mold appearing on your floor or lower walls without any obvious source. If you notice any combination of these signs, do not wait. Call a licensed plumber immediately. Slab leaks that are caught early can sometimes be repaired with minimal disruption. Left unaddressed, they can undermine your foundation and cause structural damage that costs tens of thousands of dollars to fix. The 18th secret on our list solves a problem that many homeowners simply learn to live with, and that is the loud banging sound that pipes make when you quickly shut off a faucet, or when your washing machine valve closes at the end of a cycle. This is called water hammer, and while the noise alone is alarming, the real concern is what it is doing to your plumbing over time. Every time that pressure wave slams through your pipes, it is putting stress on your joints, your fittings, and your appliance connections. Over years of repeated impacts, water hammer can loosen fittings, cause pinhole leaks, and damage valves inside appliances. The solution is a device called a hammer arrestor, which is a small shock-absorbing cylinder that installs directly onto your supply line at the point where the banging occurs. They are commonly installed at washing machine hookups, dishwasher connections, and any faucet that tends to be shut off quickly. Hammer arrestors cost between $15 and $30 each and install in minutes with no special tools. Once they are in place, the banging disappears completely, and your pipes are protected from that repeated stress for good. The 19th secret is a clever DIY trick that most homeowners have never tried, and it works remarkably well on stubborn clogs that a plunger alone cannot seem to shift. Before reaching for a plunger on a badly clogged toilet or a slow floor drain, try using a wet-dry vacuum first. Set the vacuum to the wet setting, create a seal around the drain opening using the hose attachment, and a rag or towel wrapped around it to block air, and then turn the vacuum on. The suction created by a wet-dry vacuum is often more powerful and more targeted than the back-and-forth pressure of a plunger, and it can pull a clog that is lodged just inside the drain, opening out cleanly in a single pass. This works especially well on toilet clogs caused by a solid object rather than an organic blockage, because the vacuum pulls rather than pushes, which means it is less likely to force the obstruction deeper into the line. Always wear rubber gloves, work carefully, and if the clog does not clear after 2 or 3 attempts with both the vacuum and plunger, it is time to call a professional. The 20th and final secret on our list is a long-term upgrade that pays dividends every single time a plumbing emergency happens in your home. And that is replacing every old gate valve in your house with a modern quarter-turn ball valve. Gate valves are the old-style shut-off valves that require multiple full rotations of a wheel-shaped handle to open or close. They were standard in homes built before the 1980s and 90s, and they have one critical flaw. They corrode internally over years of disuse, and frequently fail to close completely or at all when you actually need them. A quarter-turn ball valve, by contrast, operates with a simple 90-degree turn of a lever handle. It either fully open or fully closed. It seals reliably every time, and it does not corrode the way gate valves do. Replacing your shutoff valves is a straightforward job that a confident DIYer can handle, but it does require turning off the main water supply and doing some basic pipe work. If you have a plumber coming out for any other repair, ask them to swap out your old gate valves at the same time. It is relatively inexpensive when bundled with other work, and it is one of those upgrades you will be genuinely grateful for. The next time you need to shut off the water fast. And now for the bonus tip that professional plumbers swear by. And this one is something that almost nobody thinks about until it is too late. Here it is. Write down the make, model, and age of every major plumbing fixture and appliance in your home, and keep that list somewhere accessible. That means your water heater, your toilets, your main shutoff valve brand, your faucet brands and series numbers, and the type of pipe material used in your supply and drain lines. Sounds simple, does it not? But when a water heater fails at midnight, when a toilet needs a replacement part that is no longer in stock, or when you need to call a plumber and describe exactly what you have, that list is worth its weight in gold. Most water heaters have a lifespan of 8 to 12 years. Most faucet cartridges are brand and model specific. Knowing what you have before something breaks means faster repairs, correct parts the first time, and no wasted trips to the hardware store. Take a Saturday afternoon, walk through your home, photograph the labels on every fixture and appliance, and store those photos in a dedicated folder on your phone. That one habit will save you time, money, and enormous frustration for as long as you own your home. Before you go, I want to make sure you know about my complete guide, the Ultimate Plumbing Playbook. It goes way deeper than we can in a single video, with 85 pages covering everything from clearing any clog to replacing your own water heater. If you want to stop wasting money on simple fixes, this book is for you. Just scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to get your copy. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.